Okay, I think it's probably time for us to say farewell to Secrev 2024. It was a very interesting program. I'm here with Mike Toro, who finished out the last 4 hours of the conference.
Thank you, Michael. It was great. I think there is nothing similar to cybersecurity revolution in the planet. This is real social innovation.
So what we thought we might do is so that we don't forget who we have to thank, we'll make our way through the program. So 24 hours ago, we started off with our group in Korea from Sungkyunkwan University, Dr. Kim and his group. Really interesting stuff discussing cybercrime investigation, digital forensics, policing. I've got to say, I was very impressed with Moon Byung-hun's presentation from the police academy. Wonderful stuff. We also have to thank them for lending someone to be part of our team, our AV team. Great contribution from the group in South Korea. Then on to cybercrime in the Indo-Pacific region. The group represented out of Deakin University from Dr. Lennon Chang. Mixture of Deakin University and Monash University. Really interesting stuff. I mean, the discussion about Indonesia and the Indonesian government's approach, if you could call it that, to cybercrime, which was basically to ask criminals to please not try and hack the government if they didn't mind. Thank you very much. Fascinating stuff and really interesting insights. From there, we had the group from the Hague University of Applied Sciences. Now, they're all part of that group, but they're part of so many other different institutions at the same time. It's really interesting work that the groups in the Netherlands do there. It's very fascinated by Luc Becker's research that he's doing at the moment myself. I mean, I've only got the things that I'm interested in. From there, we had a look at some of the Cyber Frontiers Next Generation interviews that we've done. We've got a lot more of them, actually. We've got a lot more to come. We have some in Spanish as well, don't we, Mike?
Yeah, we had that opportunity to move around with our students from the different levels, and also to try to interview those cybersecurity experts. Moving around, what is behind all those challenges? As you already mentioned, every single country, even in that we are sharing the same cyberspace, the same internet, every single country is having different approaches, different ways to try to face these new challenges of the phenomena of cybercrime, as well as we are moving forward to some ideas, really great ideas, how to anticipate those impacts of new technologies. And I think from Europe and from Africa and also from North America, we were able to see these new thematics, all of them related with artificial intelligence. How was that there, Michael?
It's really quite interesting, the different approaches and the different sort of understandings. AI seems to be a big thing that everybody's considering, that everybody's looking at, whether it's generative AI or other forms of advanced computing that people are looking at. I mean, to be honest, the group from the University of Portsmouth, they were doing some really interesting stuff. I was really sort of taken by the work that Martin Lynch is doing, looking at whether the tools that are being provided to us through these new technologies, such as AI, are actually beneficial. And both him and Brandon May presented some very interesting research looking at the kinds of things that you could do with AI, both in terms of advancing surveillance techniques and in terms of countering problematic meme cultures and other forms of the distribution of problematic and propagandistic messaging online. That was really interesting. Something that was a little bit out of left field for me, though, was not to do with AI. It was looking at the the increase in use of satellites by non-governmental actors. And the group from India, led by Dr. Jaishankar, the International Institute of Justice and Police Services, that really sort of shed some light into the things that are particularly an issue in another part of the world. And with so many tech companies and commercial companies launching satellites and being part of the space race, providing services to us via satellites, it's really interesting for us to consider it's not just governments that are having to maintain a safe space in space. Cyberspace is now cyberspace. It's really something that we should be considering. I have to say, I was also quite taken with the group from Africa. Like Frank always does a wonderful job with organizing a group of different types of experts, and he really is a man after my own heart in that he puts together panels that are very much interdisciplinary. There are mixtures of academics, consultants, lawyers. This really just sort of makes for a very interesting discussion. Another interesting discussion, but one that really isn't part of my bailiwick, was put forward by the Canadian Institute for Cybersecurity from the University of New Brunswick. A lot more technical stuff than I usually would pay attention to, but really quite well presented. And I was very happy to see some return experts coming back again, this time with more letters after their name. So congratulations to Kwasi Boateng for his PhD work. And I really enjoyed the work that was put forward by the rest of the group there, even though I'm not ashamed to admit that I didn't understand all of it, but I was excited by what they were doing. Following that group, earlier this morning for us, we had the group from the Rogers Cybersecurity Catalyst. They're such a fascinating group in that they're really dedicated from trying to bring the academic to the real world in how they create training for retraining people into cybersecurity and really overcoming some important problems in terms of talent provision by taking people who have the time and the capacity for cybersecurity, but just not the training, and putting them into where they need to be. And they really sort of spoke about, as Mike mentioned, generative AI, the algorithmic security challenges that we're having to deal with now with these advanced data processing technologies. The group from Carleton University as well, looking at securing AI-based systems. So we were talking about AI-based system, AI as a threat, and the transformation of those threats. And now we're also managed to look at the securing of those systems that are running AI, and a really interesting discussion led by Dr. Jason Jaskolka. I'd have to say I'm biased if I'm going to talk about the next session because I was hosting that session, but I think it was fascinating. And I'm really proud that we were able to put on a discussion, a high level, quite technical discussion about education and the human aspects of cybersecurity from the perspectives of both practitioners, the people trying to build solutions to help those practitioners, and the academics looking to find good scientific models so that those tools and the practices are all effective. So I really quite enjoyed that. And that led us into the last 4 hours, which was the Latin American component. And I have to say, Mike, we've never had so many countries in such a short amount of time. The representation in the last 4 hours of the event this year was spectacular.
Thank you so much there, Michael, and congratulations to everyone, starting for those different research in the Far East and moving around all of these continents and having the opportunity to show, maybe one complex debate about crime, about impunity, about the necessity of better cybercrime investigation practices. But at the end, we were talking about tools, how tools can help us. Sometimes those tools like AI are being under the cybercriminal side, but also we as from the from the white side, from the light side, we can also use those tools and create new ways, new forms of response to this phenomena. And I am so glad of this meaningful Latin America component, because for first time we were able to listen real cases from private sector, for public sector as well, from countries that never has been part of cybersecurity revolution. We ran from Argentina, we moved to Peru, we moved to Brazil, we moved to Honduras, Mexico, Costa Rica, and obviously Colombia, having for first time Panama and Costa Rica, knowing what was happening there in a couple of years, and now moving to the newest stage, to recognize what is happening and to research what is behind of those potential scenarios of cyber war, as the Latin America School of Cyber Criminology was doing, and now facing new tools. Okay, maybe the pattern is we don't have enough resources. No one is having enough money to spend in security or investigation, but it is possible to join efforts and to create tools for free with license to respond properly to those challenges of prosecuting the bad guys. So thank you so much, Michael. Thank you so much for all your team, all of those persons, all of those great researchers, institutions who were behind of this great cybersecurity revolution.
We should thank the Secrev committee, Dr. Ian Reed from the University of Portsmouth, Dr. Kibum Kim from Sungkyunkwan University, Pamela Kitchen from the Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity at the University of New Brunswick, Mike Toro from all of Latin America, I think, by this stage, Melissa Turt Yonazawa, and myself. So great work by the committee this year. Thank you to everyone involved, all of the 80 speakers, and I'm proud to say we've delivered more than 24 hours of content to the internet, freely available for anybody who can benefit from it. So thanks very much, everybody, for all of your help this year. Yeah, we'll see you on the internet.
Let's be ready for Cybersecurity Revolution 2025.